Hey, there you go.
There we go. We're still frozen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another country Cantrell travelway cruising on the high seas. Well, we're cruising all right, but I don't think it's in the right way.
Well, we need to see more of your face, Dave.
We pretty much hit a hurricane in this show today.
Yeah, Dave, we're seeing only the top of your head.
Exactly. All we see is your glasses. We need to see your face.
Oh,
your eyeball.
Is that close enough?
Too much.
And we're frozen.
Yes, and we're frozen.
Like this?
So, Dave, you haven't met my husband. This is Michael. So, sorry, I didn't introduce you when you were having too many issues.
Oh, yeah, you guys are frozen. How come you guys are frozen?
We are. At least I'm smiling.
There you go, smiling pictures. Oh, hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula. Hey, Jonathan.
Our good friend, Mama D, Debbie Bernfeld, who is coming in to. What did I just see? You saw the eye.
Dave.
And of course, you know, we're.
See, I knew I had to come on
here
to babysit you.
Now, Dave, I noticed in here I'm in the private chat, so I don't see the chat. Do I need to go get my computer to bring up the chat?
No, you can go into comments. If you go into comments,
okay,
you'll see the chat.
Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
I'm new to this being on the screen stuff.
Well, you're still frozen.
Hey, Mark.
Back in.
You want us to go out and come back in?
Hey, Mark Lincoln can.
Yeah, maybe try that. Maybe try that. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna close and go back in.
Try to go back out and then come back in. See if that.
Okay.
Usually
we'll try that.
Well, how are you doing, Paul? Well, I'm sorry to hear that you may have to move. Well, anything, Paula? I still haven't been able to get my house ordered from where my house got destroyed in her. I understand the full anxiety of things right now. All right, let's.
There we go. Hey, we're real now. Hey.
Well, there you go. Now you're moving. We see them live.
Now we're moving. Okay, there we go.
Hey, stop.
It's his birthday. I guess we have to let him get away with things today.
All right.
And Dave is swallowing the camera.
Especially after what I've been through to get things. Crackpots. Oh, well. I guess it was just time to get a new laptop anyways, I guess.
Hey, let's see more of your face. More of your face, Dave.
He's got to lift his computer up so he can.
Or tilt his screen.
Or tilt his screen, rather.
Like this?
Oh, your eyes.
No, we didn't say more of your eye. We said more of your face.
I'll sit back.
That's much better.
There we go.
Better.
Yay! We got it now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's angled, but anyways. Well, welcome in, guys.
Hi, Mark Langenkamp.
We're
I'm not used to being on screen. Yep.
Yeah. Nope, she's not. And we had a special night planned tonight. Unfortunately, my computer decided to get a crack in the laptop window, which now is malfunctioning, and I can't access any of my files. And I'm glad I'm not doing my client tonight, because I'd be in big trouble. Because I actually have a second client I'm working on right now, and understandable, Paul. Everybody in the community knows what I've been going through, so it's quite legitimate when you got anxieties like this. And most of us have probably, I'm sure everyone in here has probably been through some sorts of like that, and stress is going to be high in levels. So that's why we're having fun, and we'll keep an eye on each other like this. And since it's my show, I can get away with it.
You can.
And it's
your birthday.
birthday.
And it's
Exactly.
your birthday.
It's my birthday, so I really
Yes.
get to get away with it.
Yes.
And next time you'll get only partial away with it because then it won't be your birthday.
True.
It'll be his unbirthday.
By the time, oh, well then do what you got to do, Paula. Amelia is a cute baby. Yeah, do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Anyways, so let's welcome in our guy. Thank you, Paula. Anyways, welcome in, Jonathan. If you're still in here hanging around, I'm sure you're probably all going, what the world did I come into? You come into a world of tipsy toppy tonight. That's what you came into. But we got some special guests. Joe and Mike is with us. Of course, we got Mama D, who we try to make a regular person on our shows. It's always nice to see her smiling face. Anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight. I apologize for not being able to bring up the thing. It's been that kind of a kooky day, but it's been a good day. I gotta admit, birthday for the most part has been good. So, how are you tonight, Jill and Mike?
We are doing
We're
well.
good.
Getting ready for a huge garage sale. So I've been very, very busy. It's like people ask how retirement is going. I'll let you know when I feel like I'm retired.
Now, I got to ask this question.
Uh-oh.
You're having a garage sale. Is that so you can move everything out so that with all these cruises you're taking, you can move some more things back in?
No, it's because I have enough things in my house that I've collected over the years that I could open up my own store. So from time to time, when I get new things, I have to get rid of old things, whether it's on eBay or via garage sale.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. I haven't done it yet, but it happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Let's just say that here in Vegas, we have a 4-bedroom house and it's just the two of us. Now, you would think those other 3 bedrooms are empty, and you would be wrong.
Wow. See, that would be crazy because I can think of, if you have family in that, you would have one as a spare guest room. For me, it would be like I would have it as an office.
Well, one of the 4 bedrooms is Jill's office.
Yes.
And you can barely walk in it. The other bedroom is for...
He's saying I'm a hoarder.
Yeah. Our other bedroom is for our grandkids who live a mile from us. If they were going to sleep over, they can't. And the other bedroom is our true guest bedroom. And when we do have guests, like my brother and sister-in-law, then we have to pull Jill's car out of the garage and move all the stuff into her parking spot. Now, let me explain.
Wow.
We have
okay.
a
Mark said it best. If you have rooms, you will fill them.
Well, they are filled, Mark. That is for sure.
We have a 3-car garage. Let's just say we barely get 2 in.
Yeah. Well, I do, as I said, I sell on eBay. So I have all these things that I'm going to either list or that are listed that are in that 3rd bay in my garage, or are in what I call the eBay room, which is the guest room, or becomes the guest room when we have guests.
Nice.
So that's that. But right now I have a lot of stuff to list on eBay for the holidays. So there's 2 rooms full of stuff.
Okay, nice. So obviously, okay, so obviously, guys, tonight I had some power. Me and Joel's been working on this. I had some PowerPoints that I had put together from the pictures they sent us. Obviously, I can't use it tonight because of the fact that I can't access my files, and I really don't understand why it's not. I mean, even though with the cracked screen, I don't know why the files are not being accessed. It
Very
makes no
true.
sense. So, but we're going to talk with Jill and Mike, and they're just going to give us some points, and we will reschedule them to come on when we do have the PowerPoints, and then we can go into further details. So I
Right.
have to ask, this is the biggest question I have to see. When you approach the icon, is it really that gigantic as it looks like on pictures and cams that I see from Port of Miami?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it looks like it.
Yes. We were with another couple who were we went with a couple who basically picked us up from our hotel in Fort Lauderdale, and we drove to Miami. And as we're approaching the port, the wife was telling the husband, keep your eyes on the road, not the icon, please. I don't want to get into an accident. Okay.
Now, mind you, when we were driving into the Port of Miami, there were, I think, 3 other ships that were berthed, including Carnival. There was another, MSC, and these
MSC,
ships,
Carnival, sometimes the Virgin. They all use that.
That particular,
But
yeah.
to give you an idea, these ships were newer, larger ships in the cruise in their particular lines, but the icon literally dwarfed them. The ship is literally 4 football fields in length, stem to stern.
The only thing it ain't going to dwarf is an aircraft carrier.
Right. And then extremely wide, as the pictures when we get to show them will show you, because that was another thing too. It's a very wide.
I was
ship.
impressed. Really, from the pictures that you guys sent me, I was impressed with what. I mean, it actually captivated, because I love watching Saturday mornings, because usually the icon pulls in it's bad when the icon pulls in.
Yeah.
It usually pulls into port at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to say about 2 in the morning. Yeah.
And then they're usually one of the last ones to go, about 4 or 5. They're usually gone about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then, because about an 8-hour turnover, but that thing, every time I see it go, or like Carnival passes it, or MSC passes it, it's like crawling.
And it's also a tall ship. There's
everything.
There's 20 decks, so it's also a very tall ship.
But what was funny is we had a balcony stateroom, and we were on deck 12, and we were in Roatan, and the what is it, the Margaritaville ship pulled in and berthed right next to us, and we were sitting in our cabin at the time, and mind you, we were on deck 12. We were looking at the very top of the Margaritaville, and the people were sitting there staring at us like, oh my, what is this? And it was
funny.
So the pictures that I sent you, which you'll be able to show once everything is up, is the icon berth next to the Margaritaville.
Wow. Now, here's my thing with this. And I know I'm gonna get it from a couple of people in here in a minute. That would be like a certain people on screen standing next to Shaquille O'Neal going looking like this.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
And I won't say Mama D.
But I will
tell my darling Monterey O'Malley.
Oh, there's a good friend, Jen Monterey O'Malley. Hello.
Hi, Jen.
I will tell you one thing, though, which was amazing, because Jill and I had been on a lot of cruises. If you weren't looking out of a window or walking around on deck, you would not know you were on a cruise ship. I would say that it's probably one of the smoothest cruises that we have ever been on. And we had white caps. We had some, I wouldn't call them super rough seas, but we had some, definitely a smaller boat, you would have felt it type, and this is very stabilized.
You didn't feel
Yeah,
it unless you were in the theaters in the very front of the boat. Then you might feel it, depending on what was going on.
and I can confirm that because I know the first cruise I took was on the Carnival Elation out of Jacksonville. And I don't know if they're still operating it or not. The last I knew it was, but which is one of their smaller ships. And we actually ran into a storm off of Jacksonville on our sea day coming back, coming from Nassau, Freeport. And so Sunday was our sea day because we were due into port by Monday morning. And you actually, I mean, obviously as a Navy person, it didn't affect me much. Even with the waves going like this, I'm still kind of walking, I'm walking normal. Everybody else is like, what? Because, and Mike, you said it best. I mean, all the ships have stabilizers. All the cruise ships have stabilizers. For the most part, you don't feel it, but you do get those big waves that once in a while that will rock the boat. And you could feel it with the Elation. I mean, for the most part, it was stabilized, but then you would get those certain waves that would be just enough to tilt it where you could feel yourself at a slight angle.
Yeah, and with the older ships too, when you got off the ship, when you were all done with your cruise, you still felt like you were on the ship because you kept walking.
Your sea legs.
Your sea legs, were still there. So didn't have that at all with the Icon.
For us professional sea people, that's no problem. You just get off and walk off. I actually can say I didn't have that issue but then again, I spent 7 years in the Navy, so what do you expect?
Right. Well, even with the Icon, I didn't have that at all. So,
well, see, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, our second sea day, which was our second to last day, we were skirting another tropical storm that was brewing in the Gulf. We were on the outskirts of it, and you could see all the waves and the white caps. Now, we did feel that a little bit, but it was not objectionable. I mean, I normally don't need Dramamine anyway, but it didn't bother either one of us.
I'll be right back, guys.
No worries.
Okay.
So the other thing I wanted to tell you about the cruise ship is that we supposedly had 6,500 passengers on board. I think that's what we were told. Okay.
Right.
Except for the day of embarkation and the day of disembarkation, you would never have known it. Okay. You did not feel overwhelmed with people.
Well, now,
Okay.
because if you remember when I had Royal Caribbean on, they told you that their bigger ships they're trying to get it to where you do not feel it. So what you're saying is you're confirming what the gentleman told us in that interview that
right.
You have.
They have these neighborhoods, if you will, like he was showing us. Remember?
Yes.
And people spill out into those neighborhoods, and that because they're spilling out into all sorts of different areas of the ship, you don't see the impact of all those people.
I have a question.
You do?
Actually, I have a request.
Okay.
I have a request from one Pete McDevitt. He wants some of your crackers, Jill.
He wants what?
Some of your crackers.
Some of my crackers?
Mm-hmm. Because he's hungry.
Oh.
I don't have any crackers. Does he think I'm eating?
I guess he sees crackers, and I don't know, but he says he wants.
Oh, maybe he sees. Does he see something on the back here?
He might see. Well, we're in the kitchen.
We're in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what he's. But I just got.
Yeah, sorry, Pete.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I should.
Yeah,
I had to.
I don't have any beaming technology where I can beam them right to you.
Speaking of which, we have the great Pete McDevitt into the channel. Hey, Pete.
See what he's saying, Michael?
He's saying
something in those closets.
Yes, there is. Oh no! Oh no!
I just got one question for you. For some people who have, let me see, that are, how do I put this? Height things. do they have maps that can show them so that they don't get lost inside the crowd?
You mean maps for the ship?
Yeah. You know, some people
Um,
like, I won't mention this one in the right-hand corner up here, but you know, when you fall into crowds like that, you tend to get lost from time to time.
Yeah. Are you picking on Miss D? Shame
Would I
on
do
you.
that? Would I do that?
Oh, you would, yes. And
I know
especially on your birthday when you
listen,
think you can get
I
away with it.
guarantee you she's gonna get even with me.
But no, I did not see any maps that they give you when you're on the
But
ship.
it is,
But
they
do have the deck plans on the internet.
Digital.
So your best bet is to take a look at those before you get on the ship.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Speaking of the digital things, now when I went on the MSC, and you guys saw the first one, I'm glad I haven't put the second slideshow together yet, because I still had to do the second one on the second MSC. They did, obviously, are their elevators computerized to where you have to put in your digital number, then it'll recognize you, and then you tell them what level you want.
Let's tell you how those work.
Okay, so they have what they call smart elevators, which actually I was concerned about, but once you get used to them after a few minutes, they're actually great. So there are no buttons in the elevator whatsoever, except for like door open, door close, and like an emergency button. But other than that, there are no other buttons inside the elevator car. Outside, they have like touch screen like an iPad type of thing. And mind you, the one bank, there's 12 elevators, and then I think in the aft section there's 10 elevators. So what'll happen is you go up, and this has every floor on it. So you just go and you tap the deck you want to go to. So we were on deck 12, dining was on deck 4. So we would go tap deck 4, and immediately it would come up and it would say, go to elevator D. And then D would light up. Each bay had an A, B, C, D. And then when the car was arriving, it would blink at you. You would get on, and then it had this big screen, and it would say, next stop, deck 8, next stop, deck 4. And it would take you to your deck.
It would show you all the decks it was going to stop at, basically.
Oh,
and nice. That was to prevent kids from getting in and pushing the elevator buttons. But here's the deal. The kids figured it out, and they pushed all the buttons on the outside on the digital pad.
Yeah.
Well, but they can't do it automatically. They have to have, the system has to recognize you. I do know that with MSC, you have to input something.
No, here you
recognize you.
No, here
it was just literally
push your deck.
Tap the deck, just go up to the touch screen, where you normally would have the call buttons. It had the big touch screen. So you had 4 banks. So you had 3, 3, 3, and 3. And each bank, and then in the middle, they had a couple of them too. So you would just walk up and just tap the deck you wanted, and then it would send you to which elevator was going to take you.
Think of a large iPad with numbers on it.
Yeah,
and you go up to that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and you put your numbers in. So the kids. Now here's the thing: they could only do so many, because obviously, if you're going to push all the decks, it's going to send you to different elevators. But they could still do it to a degree, because we would end up stopping at a deck and go, nobody's there.
I have to ask this question: which deck number did they not have?
13.
13.
Okay. Yep. See, that's usually the standard for Royal Caribbean and most of the cruise lines here. Yeah. But what I find funny is that on the MSC, because the company's out of Italy,
right?
They don't use the number 17.
Right.
Oh yeah,
because 17 is bad luck. Something to do with 17 being bad luck or something in Italy. From what they were explaining.
Yeah. That's what I was reading. Remember one time you were talking about that, and I looked that up?
17.
Is it 17? I'm trying to remember now.
17 on Royal on MSC. 17 is, they don't have a deck 17.
Yeah,
goes
deck
deck
17 is
15
bad
and then
luck for some
18
reason.
on MSCs.
Yeah.
Do they also not have a 13?
No, they actually have a deck 13.
Ah,
It's
okay.
just the companies out of the US that don't have a deck. Usually
Yeah.
it's
Remember,
usually
they're based
the ones
in
out of the
Italy.
US that don't have a deck 13 because,
Yeah.
you know, we have the unlucky 13. They have the unlucky 17, so they don't use deck 17 over on MSC.
Yeah.
Now I understand with MSC that you needed, like if you were a party of 4, you needed to push the button like 4 times to let it know what the capacity in the elevator was going to be. So it wouldn't stop if the elevator was too full or something. Now on Royal, you just tap the button. And there were times, especially around mealtime, dinner time,
Embarkation day.
well, embarkation day, yeah, that you would be sent to an elevator and the door would open and it would be a sardine can. So it would be like, nope, let it go, and then tap it again.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see where these systems are, because one thing is you can guarantee you that the system will take you directly to the floor deck you need.
Yes.
And you won't miss it. Unfortunately, you know, with some of the older ones, you got the normal elevators, and that can be a, you know, that's like trying to go up and down for anybody that doesn't like elevators and tries to use stairways. Here's the bad thing you got on the ships. Some of the decks, some of the stairways don't go to all the decks. Sometimes you have to go down to a certain level, then you have to go find the next nearest stairs and climb down or up, depending on which way you're going.
That is true.
Just remind you that sometimes it's better work to use the elevators than trying to go to stairs.
Right.
Yeah. If I was going one deck, I would use the stairs. When I'm going, 10 decks or 8 decks, I'm not walking.
We also like the muster, the way they do the muster.
Oh yeah.
Let's tell you about the muster. So for the muster, you've got to take that like safety. You've got to review the safety video.
Right.
You can do that the morning of your cruise in your hotel room
on your phone.
On your phone.
Really?
Okay.
Now see, here's the thing about MSC. You actually can do it in your state cabin.
Yes, well, you could too.
You could have done it on Royal too, because they have the TV in your cabin.
We just chose to get it out of the way.
Because we had the app, the Royal app, the day of, it's you simply go, you watch 2 videos, and then literally after you get on board the ship, you go to your muster station, and they actually had crew or staff personnel standing outside, and literally all they did is you have your key card, which is for everything. They simply scanned mine, scanned Jill's, and says,
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. We were there maybe 2 minutes.
Nice. Well, see, a lot of and the thing of it is, a lot of cruise lines are going to something like that system. Like, let's see. Is it MSC? One of them, you actually get a coin that you do, and I believe it's MSC if I remember correct. They had the coin things. If it's not MSC, I'm pretty sure actually I believe it is MSC.
Because I remember years ago, Jill and I, and then our daughters were young, we were going on a Caribbean cruise out of Miami in August, and everybody had to put on their life jackets. Everybody had to report to the muster station. And then, of course, there's always the few people that go, well, I don't really have to go because I've been on cruises before. I'm going to sit in the bar. And then they have to go and start announcing for these people, and then trying to go and round them up and make them come to a muster drill while you're sitting in Miami, standing in the middle of August when it's like 90 degrees and 95% humidity, with sitting in this mob of people, for a half hour. this was incredible. I mean, it was literally like we just walked up there, you know, boom, it was 2 minutes and we were on our way.
And the check-in process was great too. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they're well, and fortunately enough with cruise lines, they're streamlining on how some of the processes are going, and they're making it. And here's the thing that I will tell people about cruise lines is this: look, make sure if you love to cruise like you guys do. So I'm assuming you guys got whatever cruise lines you use. I'm sure you're part of their point packages where
Right, Royal Crown
every time-
Society in this case.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you that when it comes to those things, make sure you sign up from day one, because even when it's your first cruise, you will get points for that cruise
Yes.
on it. And it does add up. Yeah, it seems like it'll take a while. And for some systems, it might take a while to get to the next level. But in the long run, the perks that you get with some of each level that you climb up, depending, and they all vary from cruise lines to cruise lines, but it does make a big difference.
Well, definitely here you get 10% off the gift shop, even if you've only been on one other cruise.
Yes.
So
Are
the
you
minute
hearing
you've been
this,
on,
Debbie? Go shopping.
And we were at embarkation. We were in a different line that because they recognized that we were a Crown and Anchor Society member. I don't know if it made much of a difference, but the embarkation was very smooth.
It actually does. Crown and Anchor is one of their top. I don't know if it was. I'm not sure if that's their top one, but it is one of their top ones. And it does make a difference with that, because as a travel agent, you're going to be separated from the rest of the guests as far as embarkation, and you're going to get to go through a little bit quicker.
right.
Yeah.
It's and with that now, that depends on what staterooms you got after that.
Well, true, because if you got a suite, then that's different. Yeah.
right, because the
You get
suites
even
always
more-
go through, but
Yeah.
even then, the Anchor and Crown, you still get priority on embarkation
Right.
compared to the regular. If a guest
It was like going through. My comparison is going through what, TSA at the airport, maybe.
Well, initially like TSA. So obviously all the stuff we were carrying on, which was our carry-on, Jill's purse, my CPAP, stuff like that. It goes through just like at the airport. You go through the metal detector. It was no big deal. And then you basically walk up the gangway.
See, and I'm going to tell you, if you guys have never walked up a gangway onto a ship, even on the day that I did MSC, and I know I was only on there for about 4 to 5 hours, there's something about that feeling when you're walking up that gangplank and you're walking into the cruise ship, and then all of a sudden you're just, and if they're doing their jobs right, we were greeted magnificently. They, even with us travel agents, they had it down to a fine point. I mean, they got us go. I mean, you got to remember, there probably had to be, with the group I was in, there had to be at least 50 to 70 people, which is a pretty decent size for a tour group.
Mm-hmm.
And it's magnificent. They get it efficient. And again, you're talking about the Anchor and Crown group. Each group, as you're going through, it's
Well, I can tell you, we were with a couple that had never cruised before. Okay. This is their first cruise on the Icon. So he was very skeptical about how he was going to enjoy the cruise. He is now hooked, but when he went on up that, the gangway and into the first area that you see on the ship, it
usually
was like
the atrium.
His jaw dropped. He got this wide-eyed look and he went, "This is incredible."
Of course. What is the very
What first? Okay, Dave, you will love this. What is the thing you get into a fight with all the time with Mikey?
I do
Okay.
not want to see that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to even know it. I don't even want it brought on this show tonight.
First thing you see to your right,
There's
as
a
you
close sign
enter
on the Starbucks,
on the
right?
Royal
Thank you.
Promenade
I knew that's what was happening.
is Starbucks.
yes.
And with a close sign that says, "Sorry, Mikey, all
Dave.
Starbucks are officially closed."
And
So-
this is an actual Starbucks. It's not a Royal Caribbean
Oh,
coffee
I'm
bar.
glad Mike's not here to hear this tonight.
Yeah, this is not a Royal Caribbean coffee bar that serves Starbucks. This is like a franchised Starbucks that literally it's the first thing you pass walking off the gangway and into the Royal Promenade, which is the main entry
Right.
point, is literally this Starbucks.
See, even David T agrees with me. Starbucks. Look at that
Yes.
fat face. But
Yeah,
I do want to
Starbucks.
bring this up to him. Congratulations, Dave.
Yes, that's awesome.
That is awesome to hear about.
Very nice.
Kelsey.
Congratulations. Dave.
Yeah, we have to look for your daughter when we go in February.
That
Even
is
though I know
awesome.
she's a nurse, I don't want to go there to see her professionally. But
Exactly. Nobody does.
Yeah. no, so that was incredible to see a first-time cruiser get onto this ship, and then just the look on his face and everything else. So
The pictures you sent me, just the different angles, just of the atrium and the things that you sent me, I was actually, I'm like, holy crud.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I was
that
stunned.
level that you walk in on the Royal Promenade is like going to one of your better malls.
Yeah,
Because
the
it
thing
has
of it
the
is,
dining.
it's just, and the fact is, it's not one level. You've got
No,
2 or
no.
3 levels to that.
Yes.
Yes.
And the dining room is 3 levels.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and that's not including the different lounges, the different specialty restaurants.
right.
You
The
know,
specialty restaurants, they almost have a restaurant. There are decks that are uniquely cabins, but on the ones that are not, they have a restaurant of some type on every level. So the choices were incredible.
that's awesome, David T. Yeah, nobody wants to see the medical staff, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what we try to avoid
I
on
won't
the
be
cruise.
visiting her in her lair. No.
Yeah, this is not like the show Dr. Odyssey on ABC.
And I do have to say, Debbie, do feel free to throw questions in if you got any questions.
Okay.
Well, here, let me
You're getting too
Debbie,
quiet over there.
Debbie, first, let me answer David T's question. David, we're going to be on there February 22nd for a 1-week cruise. He's asking when we were going on the Treasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay,
Debbie,
I'm glad you-
any questions we can answer for you?
Hey, you
Minnie,
came
right?
up with some good.
She needs to go
Oh,
on.
I was also
she needs to
gonna
go on a
She
smaller,
does need to go
smaller
on a
one.
cruise.
I was
Yeah.
I
gonna
need,
mention-
but yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems so overwhelming right now.
It would be for you. You
No.
need to go on a shorter one and probably
Yeah.
a smaller ship.
Here's the
Yes.
thing. She needs to start out with, I was about to say that exact same thing, and I'm going to tell you this. And if you listen to when we had Carnival on and Royal Caribbean, they said the same thing. And somebody actually brought that question up. When you are a new crew, when you're the first time passenger going on a cruise, you only want to do a 3 to a 5 day max cruise,
Yeah, maybe
especially because
something
there's so much to do. One, it is hard to take it, but you don't want to be so overwhelmed that it's nuts. So the shorter
Yeah.
cruises, at least with the shorter cruises, it gives you a taste of different everything. So, you try to experience as much as you can, because then it leaves you the desire to go back to the cruise.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that way you know what you like and what you don't like, and you can be a little bit more picky with your second
Exactly.
cruise.
Well, like
Yeah.
the 3-day will take you out to Nassau, will take you out to their private island, depending on the line you're on, and then back to like Port Canaveral or Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie, message
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, maybe, David.
The Crazy Crew cruise. Okay.
Yes, Tanya. Wait a
Oh,
minute.
Tanya.
Hold up. David T, are you telling me the Crazy Crew's going on a cruise in May?
And the
gotta
fantasy,
get
I'm
back
trying to
into
remember how long that cruise is.
Fantasy.
I need a cruise that's about a year long.
Disney.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
I need a year-long cruise, just sitting and relaxing on a ship. That's all I need.
And Mark Langenkamp wants a long cruise.
Well,
Yeah,
I
Oh,
did.
3 nights.
Yeah.
That's perfect for you, Debbie.
That's
if you're going
perfect.
with-
It's 3
And
nights.
if you're going with people you know,
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, once you've done a couple of them, then for me the ideal is 7 to 10 days.
Now, and here's the other big thing that I will tell you, because obviously we all know I'm working on my special lady. We're actually getting the meeting for the first time in about 2 weeks in Tallahassee. My plan is for next year for me and her to go on a cruise. Now, this would be her first cruise. It would actually be my second cruise, but it's tremendous. But there's something about I'm going to tell you, if you do get to go, Debbie, and David T's right. You seriously need to think about it. That would be a good one, because Jill made a good point. You'd be going with friends. It makes it a lot easier, but yet just so much to experience. It can be overwhelming, because I will tell you, Mom and Dad ended up sick. So most of me, guess who did most of the exploring around the ship and the shows, and so that's why I'm like James, Cherie's husband, James. That's why we like our 24/7 pizza.
oh, and yes,
And the
they do.
24/7
They
pizza
have
club.
pizza. They have pizza that's open till what, 2 or 3?
Yeah, about 3.
Yeah,
They have one place that's open 24/7. The pizza's there, I think, till 3 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, because some of them, that's what a lot of the cruise lines are going to, 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning with the pizza, except for room service. I think you can get it just about 24.
Yeah, that's
Is
24/7.
it
That's
just
24/7.
pizza, or is it other things, or is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
what, in
other
terms of what? Room service or other? No,
Well,
they have
like
they have
salads.
all kinds of they have all kinds of things that are open till say 11.
Okay.
Then when you get past 11 p.m., it starts to get a little bit more it's less options. Let's put it
Did
that
you
way.
see this one?
As a date filler. Oh,
Between
13-night transatlantic. Okay, that's interesting. So it's a
That has
repositioning.
Repositioning.
They call it a repositioning cruise.
Oh, okay. Now, see, and Dave's right. Well, the thing about it is they all have 24-hour service, Dave. Even most of your cruise lines, their room service is 24/7.
Right.
You know,
I think Royal has one of their ships that's going to reposition from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale. So it's going to do a repositioning Panama Canal cruise.
Right.
And those are usually a bit lower price, the repositioning.
Well, you are
cruises.
paying for the entry fee to the Panama Canal, though.
Yeah. But I'm saying the reposition cruises.
That is one we've never done, the Panama Canal.
Like for example, on the West Coast, they always have like from either LA or San Diego up to Vancouver when they switch between their Mexican Riviera and their Alaskan cruises.
Look at Mark's comment. He's
What?
planning to, his dad says, I'm planning to retire on a cruise ship. It's cheaper than assisted living.
I agree, Mark.
Probably
I would,
is.
if I had my way, I'd be retiring out of cruise ship sailing around the world.
Yeah, some of those world cruises, I couldn't leave my family for that long. That's the only thing. But if I was a
I could.
single person, I'd be all over it.
Well, I would take my girlfriend with me. She'd be the
Yeah.
only one going. Hey, I would stop and send emails to my family. I'm okay. See ya.
Well, one thing we're looking at doing is river cruises.
Oh,
Yes, like the what do you call it? There's different ones.
There's different ones. There's the Mississippi. There's one that runs.
No, I'm talking about the cruise lines. There's
Well,
American.
there's American. There's Viking.
Viking,
there's,
Pearl.
yeah, that's the one I want to try. Because see, Viking is so good with its river cruises in Europe. I want to try Viking and see how they actually do on the Mississippi.
Yeah, well, I think they do Mississippi. They also do the Columbia out of Oregon.
Columbia and Snake
Yeah,
Rivers.
Snake Rivers. Then there's the one that
There's the Fall Foliage Tour up north.
that's along like Maine and up into Canada.
There's a lot of states we haven't seen, and if we can see them on a cruise ship, that'd be wonderful.
Let me ask you guys this, because you guys seem to do a lot of cruises. Have you ever taken an Alaskan cruise?
Multiple
3 of them.
times.
All 3 of them? Which ships or which companies
3
did
of
you
them.
guys use?
Well, we started out on a Sitmar cruise back in, when was that? Michelle, was like 1989?
1989, yeah.
1989, we started on a Sitmar cruise. It became a Princess because Princess bought out Sitmar while we were on our cruise. So that was our first Alaskan cruise. That was wonderful. And then we did another one after that with our girls. Matter of fact, I think it was 2001, wasn't it, Michael?
Yeah.
We focused on all kinds of wildlife things. Like we went and saw the otters. We saw whales. We did a whale
Now,
watching tour.
which company did you use for that?
That was Holland. We've done Holland America twice.
Okay.
We love Holland America for Alaska. The third
So,
Holland-
Jonathan, oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
then you want to be around for December 5th, Jonathan. He said he did Celebrity. Celebrity is the one I'm doing on December 5th. Is actually going to be the cruise line that's coming on as a guest.
Yeah. Now, the third one we did, Dave, was after my father-in-law passed away. My mother-in-law wanted to treat the family. Each of us had, the balcony cabins.
Right.
So we did a land and sea combination. So we got to fly. We flew to Fairbanks.
We flew from Los Angeles to Fairbanks, and I remember when we checked in, and this was in July, and I asked the guy at the front desk, I said, so around what time is sunset? And he looks at his watch and he goes, in about 2 months. And
so it never got darker than twilight.
Got darker than twilight, which was at midnight, these kids across from the hotel were out playing catch and baseball, and the sun was still up at midnight. So we flew to Fairbanks.
Have a few hours of dark.
Yeah. So we spent 2 nights in Fairbanks, and then we went by train to Denali National Park, spend a night in Denali, then transferred to another train to
Seward, which was we went out of Seward.
We went to what was it? Not Fairbanks. What's the Anchorage? We went to Anchorage, changed trains again to Seward, where we got onto the ship. So we actually did about 5 days on land.
And then 7 days on the ship.
7 days on the ship. And the ship terminated in Vancouver.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Which rail line did you use up there?
Ooh, I don't remember.
I have to look it up. It was part of a package with Holland America.
Whatever Holland America's land package was at the time.
I think.
But Holland,
I think Holland. I don't know. Do they do that? I think they want. I want to think it's Rocky Mountaineer.
Well, this was back in 2000.
This was in 2004. I know the train was double decker, and the upper level.
Did it have glass windows?
Yes, it was domed.
It was probably Rocky Mountaineer, because Rocky Mountaineer has been around for years.
Yeah.
Right.
For quite several years, and they are one. I'm just guessing. I'm just speculating based on what you're saying. Sounds like it might have been the Rocky Mountaineer, because they do the trains around Anchorage and Denali and certain those other ones up there.
Right. Well, all I can tell you is eating. We ate in the dining car. We made a point of eating a meal in the dining car. So we got to experience the whole thing with the train, and the views going through some of those mountains and things were incredible.
Yeah, it That sounds like another one of my suppliers that I use. So
Yeah,
if y'all
especially
looking
if-
for a good train ride, come see me for the Rocky Mountaineer. I'm telling you, the views that you're talking about, it sounds like that's what they're talking, because most of the glass
and
cars are.
if you went up onto the second level where where the cars were domed, the domed glass, you just had this incredible panoramic view.
Yeah, I don't know if McKinney's around now. I don't know if Rocky Mountaineers brought him out, or I'll have to check that one. That one's.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, being that it was 20 years ago, but
Yeah.
Now, for both sides of what I call Denali, so from Fairbanks to Denali, Denali to Anchorage, was on the same train line because it was the same type of train cars. The trip to Seward was just what I call a standard, like commuter train type, but it was only a 3-hour trip.
Interesting.
yeah, that was a wonderful trip. Wonderful trip.
Yeah. Now, and see, that's the thing about going back to the cruises. There's certain ones that if you really want to, I know Princess is one of them. MSC is another one of them, because there's only certain ones that have year-round trips up there. And Princess and MSC, I think, are two of the ones that have pretty much had the ships built that can go into the heart
Yes.
of Alaska.
And I will
Most
say,
of your big cruise lines like Disney and the other ones, they have to stop at like Anchorage or one of those other ports, and then you have to transfer.
right. And I will say this, if you're going to go on an Alaskan cruise, especially if you're going to go to Glacier Bay, get a balcony cabin, because there's nothing like sitting out there while you're sitting in Glacier Bay and just listening to these glaciers cavitate. And sometimes we had it a couple of times where the ice that breaks off is so large that it actually rocks the ship, even though you're at anchor.
Celebrity is out of Europe. Their company. It's actually a sister system of.
So he did
Royal
a
Caribbean.
Princess, he said. Yeah, my daughter loves Princess. She did Princess for her honeymoon out of Galveston. She
And
did
actually the one we did on
the Princess, yeah,
out of
Princess
San
is-
Francisco.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yes, the Sidmar, we flew to San Francisco and did that one out of That was, I don't know if that was
That
a
was 10
reposition.
days.
That was a
No,
repositioning
it was,
cruise,
no, it
wasn't
was
it?
10 day
Oh,
because it was round trip San Francisco.
When you say reposition, what
yeah.
do you
So
mean?
we, what's that?
When you say reposition, what do you mean by that?
Reposition usually when they're changing their itineraries between different sections of the world, so to speak. They'll go from, like, let's say they're going to do Alaska and they're in Mexico. When they go from Mexico to Alaska, they reposition the cruise because it's going to be based out of Vancouver instead of, say, Los Angeles. So they tend to have less stops. Sometimes there's more days at sea. It's a lot less expensive because of that. So
Yeah, they call it a coastal cruise on the West Coast, and they sail from Los Angeles to Vancouver, and then in the fall, Vancouver back to Los Angeles. And they'll stop like in Seattle, they'll stop in Portland, they'll stop in, say, San Francisco, and then Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. I got
So you get everything, but it's not a regular
it's
itinerary.
twice a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One cruise in the fall, one cruise in the spring.
So like Dave was explaining here about the 3-day being he called it, what did he call it? A filler cruise, because they have to get from point A to point B, and this is their
Okay.
way of getting there. So
Okay, I got you.
It's like they don't want to fly a plane empty if they don't have to. They don't want to say they have to move the ship, and they'd rather have paying passengers on board. But usually you get a fairly nice discount to take that.
So Jonathan, we did the helicopter to the glacier too. That was when we did Sitmar.
Landed on the glacier.
Landed on the glacier, and
Wow.
they put us in those special suits because it's darn cold. And you look down into the crevice and you go, I don't want to fall in there.
No.
And yes, I remember that.
Oh, that would be the fun part.
Yeah, no,
Not falling into the crevice, but walking on the glacier.
maybe for you.
It would be a rather chilling experience.
I do know that they canceled. We were thinking of doing an airline flight over the glaciers, and I think that's the year they had an accident or something. They canceled all the
they
airline
didn't do it.
flights. Yeah.
I actually want to go down and take a cruise down to Antarctica.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
would be great because there's supposed to be a lot to see in Antarctica.
Lots of wildlife.
Yeah. It's interesting to
Not-
me that
not so much-
Iceland is green and Greenland is icy. I've always thought I was always fascinated with that.
Yeah, Iceland is green and green. And what you said, and Starbucks is permanently closed. Just so you hear that. Mike.
He doesn't like Starbucks.
No. Well, you have a lot of other choices for, as we would
They had a
call
lot
it,
of coffee
a
bars.
lot of bougie coffee options on the icon
Yeah.
that are not Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what, guys. I do got to do one thing real quick. We're going to take a minute out here, and then we'll continue with you guys. If you got time, we'll continue, or if you need. But
We're fine.
I have to do this. Where'd it go?
Yeah, with a cracked screen.
I was going to say challenges. They knew it was your birthday and they had to challenge you today.
Aha, there it is. No, it is.
Whether it's luxury or fun in the sun, Dave's got the tips to make your cruise #1. Tune in, sit back, let's plan your stay on Cantrell Country's travelway. It's Cantrell Country's travelway, setting sail on adventure every day. From island stops to ocean blue, we got your cruising covered through and through. Pack your bags and set your sights. We're cruising seas and booking flights from the ports to the waves where dreams come alive. Dave Cantrell is here to guide your ride. It's Cantrell Country's travelway, setting sail on adventure every day. From island stops to ocean blue, we got your cruising covered through and through.
All right, welcome back. Man, I love that song every time.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job.
Katie did a good. Well, here's the thing about that. It was actually supposed to be an introduction for this show, but she's got so much in there that covers what I commercial. Thank you, Jonathan, for putting that in there. I mean, because I'm still working on the websites and all that, and I mean, unfortunately, with how still going the way it is, yeah, we won't get into that. But anyway, so back to our guest.
So what else would you like to know, Dave?
Honestly,
When we do this with the pictures, it'll
Yeah, well, I'll go in a lot more
sense.
detail. Then.
I have to look at this. How tall? Because they say these are some of the probably the largest slides in there. How tall are the slides on the back of the?
What would you
I
say?
can't-
Well, they're on the top.
They're on the very top.
They're on deck 20. There are 5 of them. That one looks huge.
Well, one of them is like you literally drop into the slide. So it's almost like it looks like about a 2-story drop, almost 90 degrees, probably about 80-degree type. And then you come out in the tube. I mean, you're in the tube and you can see it. Now they have this other attraction that's
The one that I sent you a picture of, we were looking one deck below at that thing that I said you dangle. It's a dangling.
They put you in this harness, and you walk along this platform, or you attempt to, and then when you get to the end of it, you're hanging on the outside of the ship, 20 stories above the water or so, and then they drop the bottom out from under you, and you kind of like, almost like zip line, but it's a little different, kind of roll yourself back in.
I was trying to look for the name of it because it's got a name, but they said it's a combination of like a drop thing, and it's called Crown's Edge. That's what it is, and it's a combination of a ropes course and a roll glider, is what they call it. It's 154 feet above the ocean.
Oh, well, something that Debbie needs to try then.
Yeah, a dangling 154 feet above the ocean.
Oh yeah, sure.
I took one look at that and I said, there are 2 chances I'm going on that. And by the way, Slim left town.
So the closest we got to it was one deck below, or a deck below, and looking up at it.
Yeah, we were sitting there having a refreshment, looking at it and going, oh, heck no.
And there were people, they wear these special suits. And there was one gal that got like fright. She got like fear of heights or something in the middle of it. So the actual, one of the instructors or one of the people that works there had to walk out there with her and then guide her to the actual part where she drops.
Oh, that sounds like there's something that Celebrity has where you actually walk on an edge over the side of the ship. You are actually over the water. Sounds like something like that.
That's what this is. That's what this is.
And the other thing of it is, with this, it's kind of like a challenge because you try to avoid something that will drop out from under you, and you drop and you're hanging from you don't drop into the ocean, but you end up dangle from the
you're dangling. Well, this one you walk along this, and the walk, the things you're stepping on,
like a rope bridge.
Yeah, it's scary looking. And then you get over there, and if you stand there, they will drop you, meaning that the thing you're standing on will literally drop.
It's a platform that drops out from under you, and you're on the outside of the ship over the water. So you literally, you drop down, but not that far. And then you've got this, you're wearing like this harness all around you. And it's got like the wheels on it's like a track. And then you kind of just ride the track back onto the ship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was scary looking.
Yeah, yep. In fact, Debbie just was shaking her head. She volunteers to do that one.
No, I don't blame you. We said heck no too.
I said,
now, if I want to break every bone in my body, I don't want to do that.
Really?
It was like with the slides. I took a look at that one drop slide, and I'm going, no, thank you.
Yeah, they have so much up there.
Some of that I would try.
They call it Thrill Island up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have an 18-hole miniature golf up there.
Well, see, there you go, Debbie. You can do you can do that drop thing and then do the 18-hole course.
Yeah, right. Okay. I'll let you do it first, and then if I see how you do, then maybe I'll do it.
Yeah, you first, Dave.
Yeah, the mini golf was nice. We didn't play, but I mean, we actually was up there looking at it, and
it was windy. I think that's why
it was windy.
Yeah.
Well, because we were at sea.
Yeah. So yeah, they lots to do on that ship. If you wanted to do everything, if you were young and physically and fit and could do all the stuff that's on there, you just go crazy.
Well, that covers me. I'll be right there.
Yeah. Me, I'm of the age where I sit and enjoy the view.
And so I will tell you this. I will tell you one other thing. And here's a question for you guys. Did you guys get a chance to sit at night on the decks and just look at the stars? Because I know there was at nighttime, I know like on the Carnival Elation, they had like a couple of decks you could, like in the what would have been the buffet area for Elation, which it's pretty much the primary eating place through the day, besides a couple of specialty restaurants that they had by the main deck pool. There would be a couple areas you could walk out and sit on the back of the ship, look at the stars at night, and just look at the trail of the water. to me, I'm going to tell you, when you're looking at the stars and you're looking at the endless void at night where the water meets the sky and it's endless, it's just, I'm going to tell you, it's one of the most absolute gorgeous view you can get.
Yeah, well, if you have a balcony cabin, you can certainly do that. But we were in the Aqua Lounge, and they have these things. They have pods where, you know, depending on how high you want to be in this thing, because remember, this is a dome. Remember they explained, Dave, about how they put that dome on the ship?
Right, yeah.
We were in that dome, okay? And you could sit in these pods where you walk upstairs, depending on how you want your pod to be. And you sit in these pods, and first of all, you could go to sleep. You know, matter of fact, we got kicked out of there because we were there at 2 a.m. But anyway, we're looking out, and it's dark, and we can see the stars, and we can see there was a storm. We could see lightning.
The day we left Miami, so the first night is when we were up there really late, and there was a thunderstorm, though we didn't feel it as far as, you know, the ship was very stable, but quite the light show. And we actually were sitting there, and, you know, it's fully domed glass all around. And we were just watching the flashes of lightning, the bolts when you could see them.
Right.
It was quite spectacular.
So they had, not only could you sit outside if you chose to, but you could have sat in this Aqua Lounge and had quite the view as well.
And literally, the Aqua Lounge is right above the bridge.
There you go. Wow, that is awesome.
So you're getting the same view the captain and his crew is getting.
See, I wouldn't mind that. That I like.
Yeah, it was very kind of, and it's right near the coffee bar.
Yes, and the bar.
Or the bar.
Yes, you could have your libation of choice, whether it's the caffeinated coffee type or the liqueur type.
Yeah, that's good. I won't be taking the alcoholic one. I'll be taking, you know,
the coffee one. Yeah,
coffee one. Except I would be drinking hot chocolate.
Yes.
Hey, Debbie.
Yes.
I got bad news for you. You can't bring your moonshine. You can't bring your moonshine on ship. They won't allow you. Just you know.
Well, actually, if you buy, like when we were in on our port stops, if you buy alcohol, they take it away from you when you get back on board and give it back to you the last night.
Yeah, you're not allowed to imbibe that particular purchase while you're on the ship.
Yeah, there's a certain way that you have to do it. I mean, because it has to be cleared through customs, and then unfortunately, you've got certain fees you have to end up paying. But yeah, they have to stow it until you get back to your home port.
Right. Oh, so Jonathan's bragging about all the things he did in Alaska. I did not do the zip line, Jonathan. I don't think zip lines were a thing.
Yeah, don't scare Debbie, because she's going to try the one on the icon. That drop on the icon. Don't scare her.
Yeah, he's talking about how scary it is. Yes, don't.
Well, if you want to do a zip line, I mean, if you really have got the cojones to do a zip line, here in Vegas at the Stratosphere. Now, the Stratosphere is the tallest, one of the tallest structures in the U.S. The observation deck is on the 108th floor, and the what I call the entertainment deck, where they have the roller coaster and the big shot which shoots you up and drops you, is on the 112th floor. They have a zip line that goes from the 112th floor to the ground.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I won't be doing any of that stuff. Thank you.
No, me either. Nope.
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't do zip lines.
My feet stay on the ground. They don't move.
Yeah.
You'll be
my feet. No,
you'll be okay in the chute, and they'll have a harness on the other one for you. You're good.
we have been up to the 108th floor observation deck, and if it's windy, you actually feel it moving. And what?
The guy said, count to 3 and let you go. He said 3, and then we went and he was screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Jonathan said.
So he's done it.
Yeah.
Well, no thanks.
Yes. And David T. reminded us that in Disney, you could bring 2 bottles of wine or a 6-pack or 12 ounce.
Yeah.
I think it was same,
I think
same
with
on
Royal,
the Icon.
With Royal, you could bring on board. I think you were limited to 750 milliliter per adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you have the security getting back on the ship where, you go through, they scan what you've got and all that. When we were in, in Cancun, wow.
Not Cancun,
no,
Cozumel.
Cozumel.
We didn't do Cancun.
Boy, you talk about security. Forget about the ship. To get out of there, we had to go through. First of all, when you get there, they've got the guy standing there with his machine gun, and
there were 3 guys with
machine guns. And then when you're leaving, you have to. I mean, it's like they give you the 3rd degree just to get out, to get back to the ship.
Well, also when you're going into Cozumel, they have drug sniffing dogs. So
yeah,
and so they had to sniff my my bag. But Michael almost didn't get on the ship because he would have been arrested for displaying himself because he's lost weight and his pants fall down if he can't have his belt on. So what did they make him do? They made him take his belt off. It was worse than the airport, right? To get back into. So it's like, and he's holding on to his pants for dear life. So it's like, wow. That was an experience getting back through the security at Cozumel.
And it was Mexican security. It was not ship
No, it was
security.
not the ship. No. The ship, you basically come on and your stuff is scanned through the metal detector.
They X-ray, and then you walk through the metal detector.
Yeah, you just basically have your
anything you purchase.
You have your ID for the ship, and then you have to, have stuff scanned. That's it. So it was definitely, yeah.
But they are serious about security. I will say that.
Well, yeah, I think
it is, and some ports are more tight on security. I mean, like I said, right now there are some places I wouldn't recommend going to because of the way things are currently.
Well, definitely, yeah.
Haiti.
Yes.
We
talked about the other day.
You ain't getting to Haiti because it's on the Homeland Security.
No, after that airline got shot up the other day.
3 of them got shot.
Oh, 3 of them got shot.
Yeah, they're level 4.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's on Homeland Security thing because as travel agents, I check those against what they advise to, where to travel to, and what not to travel to for Americans.
Yeah, and I think Royal Caribbean hasn't gone back to their Haiti. They have a portion of the island there or something, Labadee. Yeah, they haven't been back to Labadee for a while.
They're going to be going back because they said it's
secure now.
It's been secured because it's totally fenced off.
Ah.
Yep.
So yeah, when you're able to bring the pictures up, people will be able to see just what this ship looks like.
Oh, and we didn't get to go to Royal Caribbean's private island, by the way, because it was we were skirting that tropical storm, and it was so bad.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing: it is because you would just miss the one hurricane just come through several days just before you left.
Right,
yeah, Milton. We were concerned about Milton.
But the tropics had been active still though too.
Right.
They were currently watching other storms through.
But they said the Icon tried a couple of times to get into the port for their private island, and the waves were so bad they were going over the deck or over the dock. A dock rather. So you couldn't even get off the ship, even if they had docked. So
it's a shame you didn't because they say Royal Caribbean's island is very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, at some point we'll hopefully get to see it. I think it's sort of like Coco Key for I'm not Coco Key.
Coco Cay.
Whatever it is for Disney. Okay. We missed it when we went on the
Wish.
Wish. And it, basically, from what I understand, that's hit and miss. So you get maybe out of 3 Disney cruises, you get to see it once.
Well, we missed it because
we missed it because of engine issues.
yeah,
That was different.
We were only running on one engine at that point.
Yeah. So
See, and it's probably from Mikey's coffee. He poured it into the engine, and see, told you not to trust Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, we were lucky that we could go on our cruise because, of course, if we'd been on a couple weeks earlier,
Yeah,
we
they
would have had it
canceled it.
canceled because of the fire that they had way back at the beginning when they first started sailing, caused them the
Yeah.
issues.
They had an issue with, they had to
Yep.
take it out because of the generator.
Yeah. But I find it interesting that Icon on their maiden voyage rescued people.
No, Treasure did.
No, they did. Icon,
Icon
did
did
too.
too?
Icon did rescued a group of people. I think that was near Labadee or something. And then, or near their first.
Now the
I think that was-
Treasure just did that pulling into port the other day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Treasure did it. They rescued a family of 4 off their catamaran.
Yeah.
So they were the first non-Disney passengers on the Treasure,
There you go.
at least for one day.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I'm sure they were fed well.
I'm sure they probably were.
Yeah. So that's only like 12 weeks away for us now. Is it 12?
Well,
something like that. It's
February
this year is
22nd.
going by fast. So
Yeah.
we're flying to
So maybe
Orlando,
it might be 13. 13. We're flying on Wednesday.
flying to Orlando on the 19th, and get on the ship on the 22nd.
So it's 12 weeks from
get
Wednesday, this
back
coming
on
Wednesday.
March
Yeah.
1st, and we fly back.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But I can tell you based on my experience, and I'll go into it in more detail, obviously, when we have the pictures. But it's like Disney is so expensive and they don't give you any discounts usually compared to, Royal that gives you discounts. They're always
Yep.
having sales. And to me, the Icon was such an incredible experience compared to the Wish that to me, I'm not sure I'm going to go on the Destiny. The Destiny is the same itinerary we did on the Wish. And there's going to be no discounts on it with it being a new ship. So
yeah, see, that makes a big difference because especially when you're like you're the Anchorage and Crown, that's, like I said, that's one of the top tiers of Royal Caribbean, and it makes a big difference on those and on the like if you're doing shopping in the shopping or
yeah, you get discounts.
you get discounts.
Disney,
and-
I think if like in our case, we've done one cruise. So we've done, this would have been our 4th Royal, but we did it so long ago that I haven't been able to find my proof. So they said, email them and maybe they can research it for you. I'm not sure if they can, because we're talking the 90s. But anyway, so you compare the societies, Icon gave us a 10% discount in the shops and some other things. Disney gives you a tote bag.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you get for Disney for your having one prior cruise.
Well,
You get a
see,
tote bag.
There you go, Mike. That's what you get for wanting Starbucks on all the ships.
Oh,
You
is
get-
that way?
You get a lovely tote bag. Sorry, I'll stick with my other cruise line.
Yeah.
And that's 1 per cabin, not 1 per passenger.
Oh, well, see, they're even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a half a tote bag per person.
And I'm not saying anything against Disney Cruise because they do bring the magic that they bring a different magic than what a lot of the other.
Did you see Jonathan's comment? Look at Jonathan's comment.
Oh, geez. Jonathan, don't make me put you in timeout, buddy.
Put a hole in the boat the treasure's near so they'll rescue you.
Only Jonathan. Leave it to Jonathan.
Oh, okay, Jonathan.
What a free cruise. Put a hole in your boat.
No, I think I don't want to do that.
No.
Thank you.
No. I wouldn't want to try that myself personally.
No. So any more questions before we go in detail in the future by deck or whatever?
No, I think actually you guys did a good job. I mean,
Yeah.
we were, and it wasn't so much on the Icon, a little bit about the Icon, and it was nice to hear some of the things. So actually, it gives them a taste of what they'll see once I can get the PowerPoints up.
Right.
And then
Right.
you'll be able to say, this picture is from this, and this.
Right. And then we can give you more details of, I was going to talk, what the different decks have. So if
Yeah,
you're getting
and
on,
I mean,
yeah.
I actually, because I've got one where it's just that whole, the ones that you had sent me.
Yeah, the ones I
whole
sent you on Word.
atrium down the
Yeah.
one Cordell. And
Yeah,
then I
those were better
separated it on
photos.
the room, stateroom, and then I got the third one, which is
And
pretty
then the
much all the
food.
food pictures that
Yes.
you sent me.
And you notice how we didn't talk too much about food on this stream, Dave.
Well, wait till they see the pictures.
We normally get involved in a food discussion and go down that rabbit hole.
We
so to
usually
speak.
do. We usually do. Unfortunately,
We
the good
talked a
thing
little
is
bit about
we
food.
we
A little bit, but not
we put it
3/4 of the
kibosh on
time.
And
Starbucks.
that's okay. That's a good thing.
Yes.
I will say if you go hungry on any cruise ship, you have only yourself to blame.
Thank you. I
Yes.
said that before myself.
Hi,
Yep.
Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dean, welcome in, buddy. There's our favorite turkey leg stir.
He loves
But
turkey
please-
legs.
Please don't tell Dean that all the turkeys ran away because,
Yeah, he was having a fit the other day.
I hear Dean's on the lookout for turkey legs for Thanksgiving.
Well, we'd go to Disneyland because when we lived in Los Angeles, we were 45 minutes away. We always had to have a turkey
Well,
leg.
even in the beginning and
Yeah.
at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
Disney World too.
Yeah. But our tastes branched out, and now we eat other things too.
Well, also that's so much.
Yeah, I could never finish the turkey legs. They're huge.
They are the hit.
And they used to be like dirt
Um,
cheap to where it was like a no-brainer. Now you have to think about it.
Unfortunately, you can't time me out on here. I own the channel, Dean.
Don't worry, Dean. I'll take care of it.
Oh.
All right. So, well, guys, wow, we actually went an hour and 20 minutes. That's how much fun we had.
Yes.
And that
Yeah,
was
We love talking cruises.
Well, wait till we have the pictures.
That'd be really,
Yes.
really nice. That'd be really good.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to be able to do that with the pictures because they were nice. You guys would have loved the thing, and then because I would have pulled up. I also would have. I would have pulled up that document one that had all those other pictures that you had.
Right. Yeah, I thought those
Word
were better
document.
shots. Yeah.
What are you criticizing my photography?
No, they were professional
Yeah.
photos. Like one, you could see the whole top, the whole Thrill
Oh.
Island, not just a piece of it.
Right. So, and I got that downloaded. So, I mean, I've got
Yeah.
them all. So
Yeah.
obviously I'll pull them up when I can get everything transferred over and do what I need to
Well,
do.
you just let us know when you're ready.
Well, probably by next week. Cause I'll be, obviously I've got to go take care of this weekend. Cause like I said, I've got a client I'm working on and I've got to have a working.
You got to have a computer that works. Yeah, it's kind of helpful.
Bingo.
I
Yes.
know the feeling.
Yeah, in this day and age, you got to have a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, guys, I don't know any final thoughts from, we'll start with you, Jill and Mike. Anything final thoughts from you guys on the
Well,
icon?
Looking forward to sharing even more details of our fun that we had.
Yeah, I
And
think once
obviously looking forward to sharing the treasure with you ultimately when we go on it and doing an even more current comparison. So, but as I said, our feeling kind of is, I would go on the icon in a heartbeat for the right price.
well, they've got the Star,
And,
which is
and
the
we're
same-
working on going on the Star.
Yeah, the
We're
Star
working
is
on that.
Yeah,
is the same class ship, and
Their next one is coming out in 2026. I think I can't wait to see the sister ship of the icon.
yeah,
Well, that's the Star.
Star.
That's
Yep.
next year. That's
Yep.
coming out in
So
August.
I just
of
want to see
25.
But they did say, the one thing they did say is, I don't think it's quite as big as the Icon, but they still say it's behemoth.
Well, it is. It's the same class ship, but it's going to be supposedly laid out a little differently.
Right. I don't think the length of it is I don't think it's gonna be as long as it is, but the height of it may be about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's different. But I know that they do deals from time to time. Royal Caribbean, I'm always getting emails with deals. So
Oh yeah.
I know that I have to make a decision or we have to make a decision by the middle of December, because we booked that. There's a $200 thing that you can book when you're on the cruise ship that basically, because normally their deposit's $500. So
Right.
this is your deposit of only $200. And basically you get a lot of extra perks if you book within 60 days.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've actually told that cruise. I said, if you're looking for your next cruise, here's the thing. And if you really know what you're looking for, particularly, I will say this. And I know this is kind of cheap, but as a travel agent, I will tell you, you have to look at it this way, because it is a perk for me too. Because if you if you were to book through me, and I tell you, go look, talk to them. If you're looking to you're already talking about your next travel cruise line, talk with them, see what kind of deals they can get. Because you'd be surprised the perks you can get on board credits.
Yes.
So certain cruise lines use onboard credits that you can use for, a little bit of dining or shopping, things like that. And sometimes it can actually be turned to put down on your next cruise.
Right. Yeah, it probably differs depending on the deals that they're offering at the time.
Right, different deals, different cruise lines. It just depends on what they're offering. But yeah, and I always tell them that, because I will say this, and I will say it as a travel agent, because I will say that, I tried to encourage my last client that went on a cruise, that if you're seriously looking at the next one, talk to them, because if you do it and you put your deposit down here, it makes my job easier to help you with that, to make sure everything is.
Well, if you're the travel agent on record too, they will automatically notify you. And
it goes back to me.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I would get the commission off of that too.
Right.
Correct.
But
Yeah,
the
it's
thing of
on
it
their
is,
record.
and the thing of it is, it makes it easier for my job to make sure you guys got everything in place for the next cruise, because you've already started the deposit.
Exactly.
So.
Yep.
There are some things too that, when you're on board, seriously talk to them to see what kind of opportunities are for the next cruises.
Right.
Yeah, with Royal, they actually have what they call their next cruise.
That's literally what it's called, I believe.
Next Cruise, where you go and sit down with
one
of their reps.
Yeah, you sit down with a rep and they get you all taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right, customer service.
Yes.
Exactly. Any final thoughts from you, Debbie?
No, just looking forward to seeing the images to what they're saying this way. I can visualize it fully.
Yes. You'll like the pictures.
I mean, I can hear it, but and I see it, but I need to visualize it.
Yes.
Fine. Yeah. We'll have them, and you'll be able to visualize it the next time around.
Yeah.
And it may be next week.
Well, you just let us know.
Whatever.
We're not going anywhere.
It all depends on how quickly I can get everything put together in the next couple of days, or see where I'm standing on some things too. All right, guys. With that, my final thought is don't forget the vacation oasis next Tuesday. I'm not sure where we're going yet. I have to look at some things and see what I want to pop up. Obviously, plus it will depend on what this system is doing.
Well, I hope you get it fixed fairly soon, Dave.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is there's some things I can do with my phone that as a travel agent I can do, thank goodness. So it's not like I'm total out of whack, but it kills. Anyway.
Yep. No worries.
So with that, and then don't forget next week, cruise show on Thursday at 6 p.m. It'll either be the second part of my MSC, or if we got the images, or if Mike and Jill can come back and join us. And of course, Debbie, Mama D is always welcome to join us. We'll share the images from that. That's my goal.
Perfect.
My goal is to have everything back up and running so I can share those images with y'all and let you guys go into more detail for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
So, all right, guys. With that,
Ready.
I'm going to say have a great night. Thank you all for being here.
Happy,
You too.
happy birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
Yes.
go eat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go eat something, Dave. Something good.
Yeah.
I'm going back and eating a
That
little
I
bit more.
went to, Dave.
Oh, I've got cupcakes. A coworker made me cupcakes, so I got cupcakes.
Oh,
sitting
good.
up here
Oh,
Okay.
yummy.
waiting for my room.
And you're
Okay.
not
That is if my
sharing?
cousin hasn't eaten them all by now.
And you're not sharing?
Debbie, you know how
dare
he
you.
shares? He would take a cupcake and smash it on the screen.
That's true.
Well,
Hey, at least I went to
Actually, he'll
in
put it on
somebody's
his
face.
eye and then show his eye to the screen. That's what
There you go.
This eye? Is this
Yes,
the eye we're
that's
talking
right.
about?
The one that we now have a very good picture of. Yes.
All right. See, you never
Oh.
know what goes crazy going on.
That's right.
But
Crazy
anyway,
Dave.
thank you for everybody for being here tonight. Everybody from Jason, Theobodo, to Dean, to Molly, Pete for stepping in. I'm sure he's probably doing, let's see,
I think
tonight's
he's
Thursday. He's probably doing football right now.
football or one of those things. One of those
Yep.
sports.
He's probably doing football right now. It's Thursday night.
Yeah.
And obviously, thank you, Molly, for popping in, and David T for stopping in, and Jonathan, thank you for being here and putting the links in.
And sharing his strange stories.
Yes, and sharing your Mark Langenkamp. Thank you for stopping in.
Yep. And Dean
Obviously, it's good to have all you guys.
and Princess Paula.
I do want to remind everybody, if you haven't, you again, just a reminder, if you haven't caught all my videos on Space Mountain, y'all now can go back and look at them because they're still there. I had to pull it up because thanks to everything being this channel and my other channel that I do, it's all linked to the Space Mountain. So I was having issues with YouTube Studio, so I had to pull it back up. So
Hi, Jason.
it's there, but it's still in hiatus. But it's there for people to watch the videos and come join us over here on the Travel Channel.
Very good.
okay.
So,
All right.
so with that, guys, I'm going to say have a great night. As my company Logan says, for those that are ninja watching and you're working to travel, the links were put in the chat earlier. Please reach out to me through one of those links. I can help you make your vacation. I can help you plan a trip. Or if you got an
David
itinerary
T.
of what you want to do, I can help you with making reservations to help things go smoother. Let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.